So now, Tabitha, how, with your upbringing and everything, how did you get to Cut Close? Did you already know those ladies before?
No, no, I moved from Indianapolis when I was 18 to Atlanta, Georgia, with my boyfriend. He was 17 years older than me. And so I was around a lot of different things that, I wouldn't normally be if I was around someone my age, for one. But, he was in the music industry too. And so when I moved here, we worked for Babyface,
Mm.
because Babyface and my ex-boyfriend, they went to high school together, grew up in the same, city and everything. And so he knew him already. And so when we came here, he had a job. And so he got on with him. They almost signed to his publishing company. But, you find out, the practices of some people is just not conducive for your pockets. You got to keep moving. But
Mm-hmm.
that's how I got into the nature of the business in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And so with me being here and just not having no family, no friends, no nothing, I was like, man, I'm here alone. I don't, and when you with someone that much older, they kind of be like, they don't want nobody to see you because they're pretty much possessive at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nope, I don't want this dude to talk to you. And then, so I was just like inside of a room, like the apartment. I just lived there. It was nothing else for my life. And I was like, this can't be me.
Mm-hmm.
And so since I was around music so much still, I mean, because I still love music. I could sing, I started doing demos or whatever. And I'm like, man, I can do this. And, hey, what? Ain't no big deal. So I was like, I'm about to put my own group together. So I put my own group together because I miss my sisters. I miss my, the connection, the family connection. And I didn't have nothing there. So I wanted to make something that was mine, that nobody could take away from me, because I ain't
Mm-hmm.
have nothing. And so I put my own group together and, started looking for the girls. And somebody that I knew in Indianapolis basically knew Athena's uncle. And they was like, hey, my niece sings, and, here's her demo tape. And it was Athena. And so they gave me the demo tape, and I listened to it. I was like, what the hell is this motherfucker at? Where's she at? Man, I called her in Kentucky and told her what I was trying to do. And she's like, shit, hey, let's see what's up. And, we kind of clicked so well over the phone that we just became best friends on the phone without even meeting
Mm-hmm.
each other. So when she first came to Atlanta, it was a done deal. And I'm like, yo, she looked like me. Like, we look like we would be friends. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the way she dressed and everything. So it was
Mm-hmm.
the destined situation. And so when she came, it was like, oh, you ain't never going nowhere. Never. No, no, so she was the start. And then we had another girl that we were looking for, but she just didn't make the cut. She didn't have nothing in common with us. So it just didn't fit the swag of where we had already started with me and Athena.
Mm-hmm.
And so Levon called uh, the production company that my boyfriend was in, called looking to be in a group that Keith had already had all the members to.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, he already got all the members, but there's another group that need one more member. So, which was my group.
Right.
So she came to Atlanta, to audition. And as soon as she did, girl, it was like, how the heck do you look like us? It was weird because when she came in, she looked more like my auntie than I did. And everybody said, look like
Mm.
my auntie. I said, you look like Aunt Jewel,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
And you ain't even, I was like, I don't know. I got to call and see if somebody was doggone hoeing somewhere, because you look too much like my family for you not to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when she came in and then we sang together, it was like, you guys, I think we found it. I
Mm-hmm.
think we found it. So when we, realized what our blend was immediately and our look and everything, see, I'm the tallest and I'm 5'1.5", and everybody else is 4'9" and 4'11".
Oh wow.
So, i.e., Cut Close derived from a lot of situations. That was Cut Close. Our alphabets, I mean, our names in the alphabet was BCD in the alphabet, Battle Cage Duncan. Our
Mm-hmm.
ages was 3 years apart from each other,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
like
wow.
it was too much that we had in common that it had to be destiny. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is a destined situation. This is a done deal. It's an OV. There ain't nobody else coming up and through here. So I was like, this is as
Mm-hmm.
cut close as you can get. And that's where Cut Close came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I used K's instead of C's because of Keith. I was like,
Right.
since Keith's name start with a K, I'm going to make Cut Close start with a K.
I like
Mm-hmm.
that.
So that's how Cut Close formed. And I told my boyfriend at the time to take us, because there was another girl that we knew that we were working with that was actually, Keith was trying to see if he wanted to sign that group. And when I got my stuff together, I was like, don't you want to take our stuff to Keith and see what he thinks? I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, You know, she would have been like, wait a minute, you know they looking at us. But I mean, like, hey, survival of the fittest up and through hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do what you
So,
gotta do.
hey, that's basically what happened. So Keith heard it, he was like, they cute. He was like, yeah, they look good. And so he's like, all right, I want to, you know, tell him to come on over. The next day, we auditioned again. All right, baby, you know, let him come to the studio and everything. You know what I'm saying, baby? And we was like, all right. So we went over there and he saw us, you know, and he was like, all right, go in the booth and sing this. So he had Get Up On It. We auditioned with Get Up On It. And that same day, he was like, all right, I want to sign y'all. And I'm like, what?
Right.
That quick? That quick?
Where?
And so it was curtains because a lot of people was interested, like Eazy-E. He was also interested in signing us.
Oh, wow.
Thank God we didn't go. Hallelujah. Thank you,
You
Lord.
know what? You know.
I mean, thank God who they had in the boat shot. Thank you, Jesus. I mean, come on now. Because Easy didn't die easy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. You know these jokers be doggone waiting for somebody to poke and stick. So it was going to be trying to be one of us. So I'm just thankful to the Lord that I was not put in that position. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so and Warner Brothers wanted us, but I thought that the best way for us to go was probably Keith because he was in the same city and we could get more done.
Right. And
so we chose him, and we were an urban contemporary gospel group at first because I wanted to please my dad, which was, you know, very silly to some extent because I'm like, still had a hold on me even when I left home. You know what I mean? And so when Keith got a hold of us, he was like, you need to do this. I'm like, Jesus, just sit down for a second. I'll come back and get you, okay?
I'll be back, Lord.
There.
I was like, sit down for a second. I'll come back, Lord. You're all right. I'm about to go do some of the stuff that you gave me to do that I'm unpayable. But anyway, so that was curtains. And so Keith, when he decided to sign us, you know, we started working our album, you know, and then all the devils started coming in, flying like Harry Potter. You know, I had those little black things.
Yes.
Like, what is all these things up here? It's all of a sudden dark. I was like, what happened to the sun? The sun was out, but you get this business, girl, the sun go away, and then you realize it's been nighttime the whole time. So people try to swindle you in a lot of ways, basically. Is what I mean. You know, was
your boyfriend?
I don't have no regrets.
Or
no, girl, it was time for me to get away from him. I was plotting. It was time for me to go.
I'm signed, so
man, straight up Kut Klose. I mean, Color Purple. You know what I mean? What you doing? It's time for me to get away from you. It was time for me to go, dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't have a life. He was too selfish with mine. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have a life with him.
Yeah.
Because he was too selfish in understanding that this was my life.
Right.
And it didn't belong to you because you took me from home. And so in order for me to get, you know, a hold of that, I had to do that for myself and leave. And so that was one of the best things I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, sky's the limit. And so it's like, you know, Lord, just watch out for me, you know. Thank God I got some praying, you know, mothers and fathers, you know, thank the Lord they pray. Because you still need that covering. You know what I mean? You still need to be covered, you know, and understanding there's a lot of, you know, things that I can't necessarily fight. You know what I mean? I'm not always strong enough to do so. So I thank God that they do have that power in them to be some praying somebodies for real. You understand? Because some situations I knew I shouldn't have been in. You know what I mean?
That's all right.
Some situations I knew better. You know what I'm saying? I knew better. What you doing, girl?
That's all right.
Thank God I'm here to talk about it. Yeah, I'm here to talk about it. And I'm here to try and be a light for the princesses that God blessed me with to raise. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be a good impression, even though, you know, a lot of negative things happens to me. I'm trying to be right as much as I possibly can.
But they got to hear both sides. They got to hear the good and the bad. Because if all they hear is good, they'll never know what the bad is.
I mean, period. You have to, you know. And so I try to have a balance with them. You know, it's difficult in some ways. And some things I don't fight for them. I let them fight for themselves because if I took the place of everything, then you're gonna be weak. What you gonna do if when mommy is not here anymore? And so I have to teach them, you know, we're emotional as females, as girls, we're emotional, right? And I have to teach them like, yo, suck it up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby, but there's no room for this. I can't sit there and be like, baby, I know you're not, I can't soften your blow because when I'm not there, man, you're gonna need to be able to pick yourself back up.
That's right.
So don't give everything your tears. I'm teaching them that at 9 and 11. 911 up in this month. You know what I'm saying? Emergency for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't give your tears to anything. Don't always be so subjected to think that you got to cry because you don't like something. I got to raise them to be a little bit more harder than that. I'm sorry, baby, but that's just not the way it is. And you have to feel this one. You know what I mean? And so I tried to distract them so they can know, better ways to decide with whatever it is they have in front of them. Because no matter where you are in learning, every answer to every question that you have in life is always in front of your face. Always. It's just whether you're there to be able to see it or not. Where are you?
That's right.
Why are you not seeing this? And so I'm trying to be the best light. But, and sometimes you tell your children, you're not supposed to cuss. You're supposed to be a good example. I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes, gosh darn it, don't get it. You understand? And because I tell you sometimes to do something and you don't listen to me the first, second, and third time, you about to get the wrath when I come back at you.
That's all.
Why do you pay attention to that instead of the nice way that I told you? And sometimes that's just the way it is, pimpin'. You better take this one and swallow it deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's the worst thing you could do is be sensitive so much where it enables you from being able to grow to be that mighty morphin Power Ranger that you need to become to fight off all these demons around you, And so I try to, and being have a heavy hand, but I'm so sensitive because I don't beat my children. I put them behind or whatever because beating brings up wrath, and it brings up animosity, and it brings up hatred if you don't do it in a way where they can understand. You can't just beat people just because you want to beat them, God, and I think a lot of that comes from slavery, and I think people kind of like get a little too hard with it and be like, you don't get a beating because our parents beat the hell out of us all the time. You know what I mean? But beating is just you get in a position where you really need to talk to God because come on now, kids do kill their parents. And the people do tell you, do not provoke your child to wrath because he will take you out of here.
Menendez.
Period. There's a lot of them. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them. Remember those twin girls who killed their mother, the twin black girls?
Black girls. I couldn't even believe
somebody
that.
Couldn't go out somewhere. Because somebody couldn't go out somewhere. I said, that's just no, son. Something happened somewhere. But and then it's so unfortunate that people act like we don't have enough power to raise children or to be a president or to be a teacher. Even in church, they try to say that we can't be a bishop. A woman wasn't made to lead. I'm like, how the hell do you say a woman's not made to lead, but we're here to teach everything that you know?
But this is my thing. All these leaders we done seen as males been disappointments. I'm sitting around like, what examples are you? Negative. We need to change and shift gears, boo.